Look, here we go. This is the final scouting episode brought to you by Onyx here on Hunt Club, and me and my old trusty sidekick Bandit are headed to Kansas. We're headed west, so we got a pretty good drive. If you haven't joined Onyx, get 20% off. You use code CLUB, and me and Bandit are about to go out there and just show how it works and how we do it. So we got a little bit of about 16-hour drive, but we're about to put her in the wind. And you good, boss? All right, let's roll. Me and Bandit have finally made it to Kansas. He's speechless. First time this far west. I think he's regretting this ride because it was a long one, but we stopped for a few hours and slept. Truck stopped, slept in the truck, kept on coming. So Drew and Rob are supposed to be getting in late this afternoon, but pretty much what we got here is a very good friend of mine, Perry Ross, outfitter right here, Ross Trophy Outfitters. He leases a bunch of land here, been there for years, and been blessed to know him. I've known Perry for, I don't know, over 15 years, from coming out here years of filming for Realtree and coming, I haven't hunted out here a couple of times, but got lucky enough to draw a tag, and so he invited me to come on back out, and I'm gonna come out here, and I'm meeting actually his son Drew and Robert, so we're gonna try to get some work in, help them fill a bunch of feeders, and go look at a piece of ground south of here. The cool thing about Kansas, though, you can hunt down a weapon. So with a bow tag, the early muzzleloader, which comes in the middle of September, you can actually hunt. So that's what I'm gonna plan on doing if something shows up. But still a long way from that. Got a lot of work to do, and got to get something worthy of making this 16-hour drive again to do it. If not, I'll probably wait and come during the rut. But nonetheless, it's gonna be a fun few days, getting everything ready. It'd be good to see the guys. Looking forward to it. And to get old Buckshot here some rest. Yeah, you're tired, ain't you, buddy? Me too. So we're gonna get a little bit of shut eye and hopefully lay our eyes on some deer this afternoon. But good to be back in Kansas. A few hours later now, a good nap and a hot shower. Me and the companion are headed to see if we can't see some deer. I got the waypoints where to go, so headed there now, and hopefully we get in the back of this truck, on top of this deck lid, and see if we can't see some deer. But you never know this time of year, because there's so many crops in the field. These deer literally can live in these fields with all these crops between milo, corn. We may see the next giant, or we may not see nothing. We'll see. Clear path. Clear path. Turkey feather. Pretty cool, because this deck system will give us, it ain't much, but another 3 foot from this high up is going to be pretty significant. So we're going to sit here and see if we can't see some deer come out of these big, you can see these big, huge, big tree line right here, and then the river actually runs over here. It's probably a couple miles, but pretty neat, because obviously, I mean, you know, I can't hunt all this, but there's certain little sections in here, and it's pretty cool, because actually I was supposed to be in Florida right now on a deer hunt, and the plans got changed, and that's just another reason why Onyx is kind of ahead of the game on, they have the new Elite product, which you can get, which is all 50 states, you know, instead of just going state by state, which is when I first got it, it was Georgia's all I had on my mind. So now here I am in Kansas, and supposed to be in Florida. You know, everything's covered. Pretty neat. You can look at all the landowners, the property lines, which, you know, is the most significant thing to me, in my opinion. And because, you know, you don't want things getting out of hand, and you don't want your dog going across to the neighbors. So Bandit, come here, come on. I wouldn't have thought I would have ever said this about something on a phone, but or something on digital side of technology, but for when it comes to hunting. But if you've never tried it, I'm telling you, it's a game changer, especially when you come out here to territory like this, which is each little tract of land, you want to know you're in the right and you're not in the wrong, and that's where Onyx, in my opinion, pays off. And then obviously you can even dissect it even further to that between your 3D maps and stuff like that. So we're gonna see if we can't get something spotted up here. Bandit, don't get off the property, come on. You got all this country, and look at this right here. So it may be hard to tell on this GoPro, but that's a massive chunk of corn right there. And milo, there's a big huge chunk of milo right here. We got one deer. Got a couple does and fawns, that's about it. No luck on deer, but it was worth it watching that sunset right there go down, because it was worth every bit of that 17-hour drive. So tomorrow's where the real work begins.
Hold that right wrench right there and let me do this. We need to be halfway tight when it tries.
All right. Well, what you do for good luck, we'll go ahead and do it.
Here's one last try.
Come on. I don't know what you did. Let's go buy some lottery tickets. Then we can get going. There he goes. Corn is king in Kansas. Getting this hopper full. How many of these you think we're gonna load? 10 of these? 10 of these right here.
You know, let's go get the blue belly first. I just think we need to run right here close in case something starts tearing up, we'll be close. We got some of these right here close.
I like the way you think, small circles before we get big.
Yeah, let's get all these close where we can make it fast.
Can you press it up against it? We're coming out of the groove here. Watch that other leg over here, Drew. Go. I got it. There we go.
Man, hey.
That was a tiptoe job.
I have done it by myself and I've seen him do it.
Pretty much what the objective here is, we're getting all these feeders, obviously you can see they've been on the ground for a while, getting them set up. Robert's coming behind us filling them with corn. We're getting all the cameras on these, and 2 crew job. Man, it's just kind of a floater. We'll go ahead and label this as pretty hardcore bait. You can see on here this river, and obviously this is still early, but and these deer just cruise this river right here. Big ag fields. And you can actually, the cool thing is you go in there, see what it was last year. And you can see what everything around it was. Pretty neat, Drew, look at this. Give you more perspective. That's that crop layer data, so that's all what the crops were last year. So I mean, looking from a wide angle view, all them deer that's coming back in here. We talk about the sand hills. I mean, you
see how it's surrounded.
It's crazy, ain't it? Now we're in familiar territory, old stomping the ground. This is where I actually videoed Ben McDonald kill a, what did we just say, 186, I think, deer scored. Giant first day of the hunt, which is ironic because it was the year after me and Ben were out here 114 days straight, 8 days, daylight in the dark to kill a deer.
Burp. Still going. I already know what to say. This is our 14th full day, 14 and a half days of hunting. I don't know. I don't know what to say. We're blessed. I've never hunted harder. Me and Phillip, I don't know if I've ever hunted harder for a particular deer, but it's something to be said for sticking to something and gutting it out. And we were prepared, even though the weather was going to get up to 87 degrees today here in Dodge City area. We were prepared to sit all day. I hope we got him. I mean, I shoot with one eye and an eye patch. It felt good. The wind's blowing a little bit. It looked like a pretty good shot. What an old warrior that is. My gosh almighty. Man, oh man. That's what I call a mature deer.
For sure.
It can happen on the first day or it can happen on week 2. Trying to get all this stuff done before it gets too hot, but since we got 25 feeders to go, we're probably gonna be working through the day. Unless Robert gets hungry, get her set up, ready to roll.
There's one thing about it. We got one mature buck.
Yeah, we do. Look at that right there. Well, that's a book deer. That's a book. That right. If that don't make book, if that don't make
that's
book.
200 class right there, buddy.
That's one of them no doubt shooters.
Yeah, no doubt. You just pick your gun up, knock her. I mean, it's.
Pretty good. A little mud on the lens. What a difference a day makes. We were just getting after this 1 o'clock now and still trying to get down south to this other piece of property, but we had an absolute, what was it called, deluge?
Yeah.
Flood this morning. And we ain't been able to get nowhere. It's been so wet, but we finally got in here. Luckily it's been windy, hot, and I still don't know if we can get down south.
Good news is sun's out.
Yeah, sun's out.
Sun's out, wind's blowing.
Oh yeah. It gets so wet out here, you literally can't get around. And it's some dry country, but when it gets wet, it's wet. This road's just a nasty mess, but hopefully we can get into most of these spots and get them ready and go look at that spot down south where we're talking about trying to hopefully bow hunt. But it did give us the time, the chance me and Drew had to sit there and kind of just look at it on Onyx and, you know, look at the 3D layer to look how them canyons roll, where the crop fields are, and there's a big water trough down there too. So kind of get back and look at it, and you never know, taking a minute out of a break out of the schedule is maybe that had us reanalyze our situation. It'll pay off, but I know we need this camera to find enough service to pay off because we're in the middle of nowhere. The scent, so it's got better, thing Spartan's probably got better signal than your phone on it. Look at there, and we're rocking and rolling. Well, it took a little drying out, a little sun, help from a local friend to get a Polaris, and we're finally in here now. Stuff's dried out enough though. We filled a few feeders up. Finally though, we're getting these cameras out, and then in the morning we're gonna go down south to the other property. We were scared it was gonna be too wet, so we're making gains here. This is it. We're loaded, got both barrels loaded. Final day in Kansas. Headed in to get the last of the cameras up. Get that right there. That man's prepared. That right there is preparation at its finest. You never know when you're gonna need a good Oreo that's got Pop Rocks in it. Can't believe you just brought one though. Kind of slack. But if all else fails, he's got Funyuns. I think we may have some Slim Jims in the back. We're headed in. this is ground blind country, as you can see. Pretty cool though. Just me and Drew were talking riding in, looking at Onyx, and obviously everything's rotated out this year, but just looking at that crop layer data that all the crops and ag just around this place. So we're going, all this over here was winter wheat last year. There was some sorghum too, so we're gonna go see what it is and fill this feeder up, get some cameras out. And I'm gonna tell you another thing as big as corn out here in this country, or better, is these windmills, because man, there ain't no water for miles, so that could be gold. We're gonna put one camera on a drinker, one camera on a feeder, see what we see here. But pretty excited. This could be a bow hunting challenge, this big old country. Looking right here, is we're hidden from everything. This piece of property pretty much got these two draws that come down here and meet and connect in the middle of all this ag. And there ain't much for cover here, but I can tell you there's a lot more cover here than there is anywhere else. Looking up here on the hills there, it's just like a dang prairie. So hoping it pays off. If Drew would just hurry up with the daggum spinner here.
I know, I ain't left-handed, but I can't do anything with my left hand. Ah, too much.
Too much. Guess I could do something while you're doing something, huh? Besides just talk. Scent. There she is. Working. We'll have to download it tonight. But in the meantime, we'll call this way out here. So as you can see, I don't even have good enough service with my Onyx here because I'm down in a hole, so I want to download it offline. But cool thing is, even though you don't, you can still mark your location, and all these waypoints will save exactly where they're at. So even though I can't see it now, go back, download it, and it'll all pop up. But I'm gonna get this feeder going and go here and look at this drinker. So Drew's getting the final camera out here, and I'm gonna dare to say that this right here is gonna be as good as corn. Water, especially this time of year, in early season, is gonna be king. But anytime you got water and corn out here in the middle of nowhere, wide open, it could be good things. And we're hoping to get some intel and be back early season bow hunting. But that's a wrap. And that's a wrap also on the scouting series here presented by Onyx on Hunt Club. And hopefully a few people have picked up a few tips of how we use it. And honestly, trying to, in new parts of the country, utilizing it just like I do at home in Georgia, it's not only just keeping you organized, but just like we did at the house the other day, looked at the lay of the land, and when you do get boots on the ground, you come here prepared, know where you want to go. That's why the Elite product is so beneficial, because with that you get all 50 states. There's a lot more features and benefits you can get from it. Top Rut, the drawing odds, I believe it's a membership to the digital series of Hunting Fool, so they got all kind of cool things if you do get that Elite series. But we're checking out here in Kansas. It's time for us to get a bag of potato chips, maybe a turkey sandwich.
Pop rock cookie.
Probably a pop rock cookie. You still saving that Oreo? Did you already eat?
Man, you know it's
As always, if you haven't, please subscribe to the Hunt Club channel. Click on the little bell below. We sure would appreciate it. And thank you all for watching. And get 20% off Onyx right now. The link's below in the description. Give it a try. I can promise you it'll change the way you hunt, change the way you approach your planning, and at the very least, keep you organized on your hunting land. So we're hoping this water tank and this feeder will pay off, or anywhere in between. We've been all over the place out here. Thank y'all for watching. Look at this guy. He don't say a whole lot, but the man is deadly.
What are you talking about?
America?
America?
Yeah.
Don't be videoing me.